Good afternoon, it's Martin from Pendle Performance. We've got some absolutely awesome news that comes after many late night software development, research and development. Over a couple of winter periods really on the W447, which runs a Bosch EDC17C66 engine control unit. Now, these are quite a complex engine control unit that have got a very complex torque monitoring strategy. And we've seen on a few software versions over the winter period months when the temperature drops below 4 degrees or freezing, some of them have got a software glitch where it hits limp mode when they are cold starting. Now, this only happens on a very small percentage of software versions, and obviously it only happens on certain temperatures. So last year we put a lot of development work into it. We're really pleased that we overcome a lot of the glitches. And then this year we've had a couple in, and I've really gone to town. And thanks to one customer who's lent us his vehicle while it's been cold this last week's period, it's enabled me to do a lot more in-depth live data logging and see actually where the issue lies. And I am absolutely well placed to say we've totally redone our calibration on the software on these, and we've got perfect OEM Mercedes calibration on the ECU, meaning we've not touched any torque monitoring maps whatsoever. All the torque monitoring strategy is as intended from Mercedes in the ECU calibration, and also all the DTC table, which are the fault code table. We haven't touched a single fault code. We've not had to touch a single fault code. No, we've not had to turn a single fault code off, and we do believe this is a world's first. Now, a lot of modern control units have got what's called torque monitoring strategy within the engine control unit, and it monitors the engine control unit and obviously the engine. And the easiest way a lot of tuning companies solve this torque monitoring strategy is to switch it off, is to find the torque monitoring tables and just set them all to 0 or turn them off. And then this then throws a lot of fault codes up because obviously the ECU is not running as it should be factory. So then they go into the engine control unit DTC table, fault code table, and switch a number of fault codes off. Some of the tuning companies I've seen doing these turn all the fault codes off. So they turn all the torque monitoring strategy off for the ECU, and then they turn every single fault code off. Not just for the torque monitoring, but for everything. So, you know, good luck to any mechanic that wants to try and diagnose a vehicle. It's not the correct way to custom tune these vehicles, and we've gone about it the correct way, where we've got to have the correct torque monitoring strategy in the ECU working. Obviously then this throws up the glitch on a few software versions of the cold start. But I have put a lot of hours into research and development on the software, and I found, I don't really want to go into it yet, but I will release how it's done to the tuning industry as well. You know, so I know a lot of tuning companies worldwide have struggled with these and the cold start issue, and you know, a lot of them resort to turning the torque monitoring off and turning all the DTCs off. It's not the correct way to do it. There is a better way to do it, and it does work. You know, we have tried and tested it on this model, and we are going to roll it out to all the other software versions that are having the problem. But yeah, there is a solution for it without turning any of the torque monitoring strategy off, and without touching a single fault code on there as well, switching any fault code off. So brilliant news. So we have tuned this vehicle. We've dyno tested it standard. This is the V220, which is the same as the 116 V2, 163 brake horse. So we'll have a look at the dyno graph of it standard. She's made 164 brake horse, 361 newton meters of torque. Now they do these in a number of different software versions, different brake horse powers, shall we say. They do the 114, which is a 136 brake horse. They do the 116, which this one is, which is 163 brake horse, and then they do the 119, which is the 190 brake horse. Now all the engines in them are identical, so the 114 to the 119 is identical engines. So the 136 brake horse model will tune exactly the same as the 116 does. It'll tune exactly the same as the 119 does. We'll just load the tune graph up now, and we'll show you what we've got from it. Just bearing while I load the tuned graph. I'll overlay the standard as well. Right. So this is the tuned, our custom tuning, and again with correct calibration, not a single torque monitoring touch. It's running absolutely OEM Mercedes software just with our tuning in there. So it's absolutely on the money. I'm really pleased with the hard work that I've put into them. I'm absolutely made up that this is the results it's give. 230 brake horse, so from 164 to 230. More importantly, with 507 newtons of torque. So we can see the graph. The thin lines are the previous and the bold lines are the tuned. The bottom scaling, 0, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 500, 5,000, sorry. That's the engine RPM. If I get this scale up here, 0, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, that's the brake horsepower. And this axis up this side, 0, 120, 240, 360, 480, 600, that's the torque. So we can see the gain in torque we've got is absolutely colossal across the mid-range, low down, and also holding way past 3,000 RPM. So we can get a better image of that for you without my head in it. So that is correct tuning on these. Like I say, it has come after a lot of time research and development from me, and also input from customers. You know, huge shout out to you customers. Without you customers relaying information back to me, we wouldn't have got to the solution as fast as we have now. You know, so huge shout out to all our customers that use us, really, not just the Mercedes ones, but every single customer that does use Pendle Performance. You know, it's you customers that are the backbone to our company. Without you customers, we wouldn't have the company, or we wouldn't be the company we are today. So you shout out to each and every single customer that uses. And also people who recommend us. I had a chap phone up today with a older Mercedes Sprinter, and a Mercedes garage in Sheffield recommended Chem Tools for tuning. So a main dealership recommended us. So, you know, I'm really proud of the work I do, really proud of all the work the agents do. We are very passionate in what we do. Huge shout out to a chap called Martin who gave me this V2 and relayed a lot of information back and forward to us. Credit to him for letting us have this V2 over this week's period when it's been cold. It has enabled us to overcome a glitch, so huge shout out to him. Huge shout out to all the social media groups and forums that we're on, and recommendations we get from group members. It does make me very proud, all the recommendations we get. So as you can tell, I am well pleased in the work we've done. So thanks for watching. But that's correct tuning on the V2s, or the W447. Cheers.